guys, man, it's another episode of Talk A Lot Pod. You feel me? Talk A Lot, the hottest podcast in the land. You feel me? Like, man, today I got a special guest here, man. I got Sherman. This man do everything. I just figured out he do something new. You feel me? Like, hey, he'll master all trade. So, man, please introduce yourself, man.
Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Like he said, my name is Sherman Owens. I'm 42 years of age. I'm originally born and raised in Miami, Florida. I'm a father, single parent of 3 kids. I'm a grandfather. My 19-year-old, she got a little boy now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I originally resonated. When I moved here in March of 2021. March of 2021, I relocated here, Macon, Georgia, coming from Syston, Kennett area of Missouri. You know, like I was just telling you before, because once I go to talking, I just roll.
Yeah.
But like I was just telling you, you know what I'm saying? When I first got here, like I was going through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I was a semi-truck driver. I drove semi-trucks for 8 years. I came in the game with my own truck.
Yeah.
So I was kind of spoiled, in certain aspects of it. But yeah, man, I had lost it all. Like, literally, and it wasn't nothing that I was doing wrong or I misplaced money or this, that, and the third. It's just like when life happened, what I come to realize after the storm and looking at everything and putting it in the right perspective, we all, as human beings, we want certain things for ourselves and our life. Like we might see, some people might say it's about finances. Some people might say it's a woman. Sometimes it's a clothes. Sometimes it's just going shopping. It just all depends on who you is as the person, right? So in life, the universe and the creator, no matter who you pray to, I ain't finna get into all that. So we ain't got we ain't touching that.
Mm-hmm.
But the creator, whoever it is that you pray to up above, he will bless you with every desire that you have. Any desire that you may want, he will give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
However, or some people might say it's the enemy that's giving it to you, as far as the devil, right? So they're going to give you those things, but if it's not aligned with the creator, as quick as you got it, it's just going to fall through your fingers like putty.
Mm-hmm.
I live that because there's nothing on earth that I ever said, no matter whether it was a woman, no matter whether it was business, no matter whether it was a certain amount of money. Anything I ever wanted in life, I always acquired it. Now.
Before you go, we're going to break down some of the stuff you always just said.
Mm-hmm.
So, where you originally from? Like born and raised?
Carol City, Opelika area, Miami, Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you in Florida regardless. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a go yam. What you mean? Don't bring it out now. I'm a go yam. But yeah, that's where I'm originally from. Like I say, my mother's side of the family, if you want to go that way, my mother's side of the family was all middle class, hardworking people. My grandmother, I had 3 great uncles that built the church with their own hands, and that's kind of like was the family church as was growing up as kids, run around and play with all my cousins and things like that. My father, believe it or not, was a millionaire. He was an entrepreneur in the 80s. Yes, he got majority of his fame and fortune from the street life, but he was more of a businessman as well. Like even in the 80s, my father was the first. And I emphasize that because a lot of people think like when they hear of rappers or singers about Miami, Florida, they think that Luke, that's what's more popular. They say, oh, Luke, the booty shaking, the popping, this, that, and the third, right? But believe it or not, Luke worked for my father before he went to prison. My father was the first Black person in the state of Florida to open up his own record company in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
He also owned nightclubs. We had convenience stores from here to Texas, a pallet company in the 80s. Now, what kind of drug dealer are you thinking about, opening up these type of businesses in the 80s? I was one of 3 Black kids that went to an all-white Jewish private school in the 80s on Miami Beach.
Oh, damn.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I had a maid in my house growing up as a kid up until I was 8 years old, and that's what kind of transformed my life in a great way. And I'm glad that you came back to that topic because the first time I felt pain in my life, I was 8 years old. growing up as a kid, the only thing I knew was my father. Like, that was my God at that one point in time in my life, you would say, right? So at 8 years old, my father ended up one day seriously going to jail. Remember, I'm just a kid running around the house playing and doing what I normally do on an everyday basis. The only thing I know, I hear my aunts and my grandma, they hollering, and everybody come running around turning off the TVs. I'm an 8-year-old kid. So come find out later, my mom comes to pick me up, which it was kind of normal, but abnormal because it was like a school day or whatever. And they arguing and fussing, and I end up going to my mom's house. Imagine living on the beach, made in your house today, and tomorrow you in the projects at 8 years old. Okay? Once you take that in, the next person that I felt personally that cared for me or that I really love, like I probably, you know, as a kid, or even as an adult, you might do something wrong and consciously you know that is wrong. But my grandmother was the type of person that things that I might wanted to do, even though I wanted to do or whatever, and some things you did do, but it hurted me more just to see the hurt that I instilled in her versus the discipline that they might have lashed out back at me. You get what I'm saying? So remember, my father went to prison at 8. At 13, I lose my grandmother. No, I'm sorry. At 12, my grandmother passed. Okay? By my 13th birthday, I was arrested.
For what?
At that time, I was riding in what we called at that time a splat, which was a stolen car, but we was actually going to stick. Because, you know, I was playing in the streets. You know, at this point in time in my life, like I say, when my daddy went to prison, by 11 or 12, I was already selling drugs. I did the same thing my father did. It's just, you know, kind of repeat the generational curse.
So was it, when your father went to jail, was it like a RICO or something like that?
Yeah, RICO, conspiracy. Yeah, like the big duffel bags that like people in the army would carry around, like not like a regular suitcase, them big duffel bags.
Yeah.
When they busted my father, I don't remember the exact amount of money, but the duffel bag was full of money. And that's actually how I learned how to count. When my father used to come in the house at night, you know, he'd drop the bag and count till you can't count no more.
Yeah.
And whatever number I stopped to, that's what I could have. So I learned how to count very quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But moving forward, like I say, you know, I grew up kind of sort of similar like this, but in a real studio, getting out of school, going to the studio, watching, you know, artists like Debbie Deb. You know, I know you don't know nothing about Debbie Deb. That's way past your school, but I say that because like Debbie Deb is actually doing her thing right now. Like her and the whole freestyle gang, you know, is actually on tour right now. They got a whole lawsuit because my father went to prison. They actually said that he was dead. They forged some paperwork and they ain't never think he was coming home. And they forged some paperwork and they stole the business from my father. Because, you know, he had a lot of sense, but he was illiterate at that time to a lot of things. So they stole the company, you know, and we just live life. So, but I always knew, like, you know, by me coming up an adult and I learned about music and stuff like that, I'm like, hold on. You know, my old boy owned this company. He was the producer and everything, you know, of this music. I'm like, you know, something ain't right. But, you know, at that time, I'm in prison myself, but consciously, I'm aware of it. So it's like one of them things where I'm going to take care of when I hit the turf. But Lord behold, my creator, which is God, and my father is a Muslim, so he gonna say Allah. But he blessed him, and he came home. I think it was I came home at 12, so I think that was like 2008. When the feds did that big change, when they did the drug law, when they changed the laws in 2008, I believe it was. Well, my father was one of the guys that got caught up in that whole drug law. So when they changed it, he was one of them 5,000 inmates that they let out.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm saying? So, but at that time, I was in prison myself, you know, and I think I probably had about 2 years left out of my 13-year bid. You get what I'm saying?
So wait, so you went to jail for selling?
The first time.
The first time?
Yeah.
Was it like a major amount or just like some little petty stuff? Because, you know, a lot of people get locked up for that. And
to be 100% honest with you, I got locked up with 45 ounces. That was a key and a quarter. Only 9 of it was mine. I was riding in the car with 2 other people, but at that time, you know, and I'm playing that game, I was the youngest person in the car.
Oh, okay.
So you know when you the youngest person in the car, you the one got to take that
charge,
sack, because guess what? It's going to be less on you than it is on this person. However, the niggas I was riding with, I knew beforehand that if that was to go down, you know, that was my job. You get what I'm saying? Because remember, I'm playing that game in the street life. So that's what I did for a living, and that's what paid my bills. So the first time when I got locked up, like I say, with the 45 ounces, I jumped on 3 years and 9 months at arraignment because with the amount of drugs that I had on me, the feds was going to pick up the case.
Oh, okay.
So the first plea that they offered me, I had to jump on it before the feds would have picked it up.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Had the feds picked up the case at that point in time, I would have been did way more time than the time that I actually did. Because like I say, with that case, I only did 3 years and 9 months.
Yeah.
And I got out in 2002. And I went right back in 2003 for robbery.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
You know your side?
No, I was one of them cats, you know, so caught up in the street life that when I was in prison, I was still plotting on ways how to get back to prison. I just wasn't consciously aware of it, thinking that you're going to do it a little bit smarter and a little bit wiser. You know, maybe if I don't mess with these cats over here, then I maybe could make it. But no, and playing that game right there, it ain't nothing but really 2 things going to come to you. And to be honest with you, in a lot of cases, like I say for myself, prison preserved me as well as it restored me. Prison was not like prison to me. And to be frank with you, like, I didn't give a fuck about no LeBron James and D Wade and how many points that he shot and he made. I didn't give a fuck about how many yards Vic was running and McNabb was throwing. I ain't give a fuck about that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? When I was in prison, I was smart enough to learn something that I don't know. So basically, if you was a nigga that was like me when I was in prison, if you couldn't tell me nothing that I didn't already know, I didn't want to spend my time with you.
Yeah.
Unless, you know, I had my hustles going on when I was in prison. So if you was down with me that way, then maybe I dealt with you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you couldn't teach me nothing, I don't give a fuck. I know how to sell dope. I know how to rob people. I know how to fuck hoes and do the rest of it. Teach me something that I don't know.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that's what I did with 8 of my 13 years that I've been in prison. When I actually went to prison, I had 2 houses and 3 businesses, and I couldn't even spell neither myself. And I was 18 years old when I went to prison.
Oh, damn. So did with you saying that, like, you didn't want to be around somebody who couldn't teach you nothing. Did that make enemies because of you have to politic in there?
Not so much for me. For one, I can't speak about no other state because I ain't from other states. I ain't do time in other states. I'm from Florida. I went to prison in 99, right? At 99, prison is a lot different than how it is now. And I don't want to offend nobody, but I just got to keep it a buck. You feel me? And that's what talk a lot love. You love keeping it a buck.
Yeah, we got to keep it real.
At that point in time in Florida, if you was in a gang, you was kind of really considered a fuck nigga. You know, niggas wasn't in no gangs in Florida. It was more so about where you was from. What neighborhoods you was from. And we didn't beef over neighborhoods per se. We was beefing of you might be getting more money than we getting over here, so now you at war.
So I thought around that time, gangs was more of a, as a collective, like actually a family, not just beefing over colors and blocks and stuff.
Okay, like I'm going to use this for an example. Like I'm going to give you an example of what they did and how things was like. For an example, you might have heard of Booby Boys or the Booby Gang come out of Miami. Okay, I'm going to use them for an example, right? They not no gang. Those was niggas from all over, different, mostly, yes, from out of Liberty City. You get what I'm saying? However, they had dudes that was on their line from out of Carol City, Overlock, or Overtown from down south. You get what I'm saying? And those niggas got money together. You get what I'm saying? So if you went in there, you brought JD, You knew your bags looked at this color. No matter what dope hole you was buying from, the bags was always the same color. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No matter who you was probably getting it from, you knew the quality. If you went in overtown to this area, that area, and brought they dope, you knew the quality was the same because it was coming from the same people. You see what I'm saying? And them niggas, they went to war about their territory. Rather if you had a spot and if they spot was making 10,000, you sold dope across the street and your spot was making 12 or 15, it wasn't about no color. No, I want them 12 or 15 that you got.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? And there was a collective group of dudes that was doing that. It was some niggas that was just doing the, splashing, you get what I'm saying, or robbing different dope hoes, and stuff like that. And you got some niggas that was just the hustlers. They didn't crossbreed. You understand what I'm saying in a sense, but they all scream JD, right? So now they got the RICO and consider them a gang. That's what they did by law. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Just to enhance their prison sentence. You get what I'm saying? But it was never like white boys and Chicos was gangs, in which you hear white boys and Chicos back in those days holler Wilo. Like that was the most populous gang, which I think they like the Disciple or some shit like that. Yeah. Or when they go to prison, they join. Basically, when they go to prison, they used to join the gang, the opposite gang. Like they used to literally, and on the street, you could be a Wilo, and then you go to prison, you another gang, but it's really your enemy. You kind of get them saying? Yeah. Because it was more of them or whatever the case may be, however that part went. But it was always about, you from out of Opelika, you from out of Carol City, you know what I'm saying? You from down south. It was never a gang or a finger hand signals, you know what I'm saying? It was always about, okay, we got money with these niggas, so that's who we riding with. Oh, okay. It was never anything besides that. You get what I'm saying?
So how did you survive in that system though?
I'm from Miami. Yeah. That's what I was getting to. About the prison system and how it was separated.
So you already had people that was in the...
Yeah, prison is a nesting egg for your peers. So no matter what you doing, like for an example, I'm gonna use this for an example. The first time I went to jail was for stealing cars, but I was riding in a stolen car to go do a robbery. But we didn't get caught to do the robbery. So we got caught, in the stolen car before we even got to the robbery. Yeah. Okay? But my real in and out time, I was a dope boy. But going to jail, I might be around you. Now you a stick boy. You feel me? So now you telling me your stories. Okay? They exciting. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So now, cause I fuck with you, I might go on my first stick up with you. That ain't what I really do, but I might look out. Cause this what you do. So you jump out and get live, right? So when you jump out and get live, I'm sitting back, I might be the getaway driver, cause that's really what I did. I was the getaway driver. Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, like honestly, I'm the getaway driver. Yeah. But that's how I was hanging with robbers. But I really was a dope boy. You see what I'm saying? But by me hanging with robbers, quite naturally, a certain period of time, you're going to begin to rob.
Oh, good thing you said that. A good thing you said that, bro. Because I've been having that same issue with everybody about the whole, not really bring him up, about the whole 6ix9ine thing. If you're around somebody for a period of time, they telling you this, you go become that. Yes. So I've been telling people he not gangster. He not that life.
Talking about the little white boy who be on social media?
With the rainbow color hair?
Yeah. But he's a bitch. You can see it all over him. Like in prison, he get fucked. Like no cap. Look at him. But he's very popular. Like everybody know him around the world. Yeah. And that's crazy because he with the social media life, he liked the shade that he get because it get him the publicity that he's looking for to boost up his channel.
That was the only reason why he did the music video.
Yeah.
But as he bringing in money for that organization, that group, and they go keep you around and be like, yeah, nigga, you gangster, nigga, you ride with us, you us. So in his head, you making him that. But that wasn't him from the jump.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't be surprised by him doing what he did when y'all did other stuff and put this image in their head.
Yeah.
And plus, the stuff he did was out of them being disloyal to him.
Yeah.
So, you feel me? But it's a whole lot of stuff. So we can really go into the Gunna too, because like Gunna, you know, he got tricked into doing some stuff, but they was your partner from the beginning, and he brought you to this spotlight, and you actually snitched on him and got him in a jam.
Nah, you know me being a little more old school. That's what when me and E was rapping, like y'all age rappers. I ain't really know nothing about y'all age rappers.
Yeah.
Like no cap. Me and my son, I was just telling my son the other day, like we was listening like some dudes. I was painting the house, and as I'm painting the house, they had like a little barbecue going on across the street.
Mm-hmm.
And for about 2 hours, they listening to rap music. And when I say, bro, I ain't never heard not damn one of them songs a day of my life.
Yeah.
But like my son was like, oh yeah, that's such and such and such. Well,
you gotta get caught up, man.
No, I ain't gotta get caught up. They ain't talking about nothing. Remember, I'm an 80 baby.
Yeah.
So by me being an 80 baby, my rap days, like they had something to say. Like now it's just about the catchy beat. You get that quick minute to draw that attention, whoop, 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 and it's over. And really and honestly, like I pray for these young rappers today because they really getting into a game that I believe that they really don't know what the fuck they getting into.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so much about the popularity in the bag right now and the blue faces that they losing their lives for that quick minute fame.
But this another thing too, yes. For that, also back in your day, they were rapping about drugs, were they not?
Yes.
So they put out an image of people want to be dope dealers, right?
Mm-hmm.
This modern age of rappers is drillers who go drill. It's all about guns, violence.
Yes.
So every age have a different substance they are talking about. Because 2016, it was talking about taking drugs, popping pills and stuff.
Facts.
So, I mean, you did come from a dope dealer aspect in music, but now it's about the drilling.
Yeah. So
you can't knock music now. You can't do that. Okay. The new age music.
No, I don't knock it. You know, y'all do y'all thing. Like, you know, but is it worth it?
You gotta say also about the dope. Was it worth it?
I would say if I had to weigh my own odds and make a decision, I would say more or less yes. Don't say is no wrong right.
Yeah.
Let's get that clear out the gate. It's no wrong you could just justify to make it right. You get me? However,
you also can because you did it to survive, right?
It's funny that you say that. We like to say that because it was a time in my life that I said that. Exact same thing, right? That I did it to survive and take care of my family and this, that, and the third, right? But if we really be honest and truthful with it, when I was in prison, I couldn't do nothing for nobody, right?
Yeah.
But the same people that in your heart and in your mind that you want to do all this for, why is it that those was the people that's doing for you while you in prison? Now, consciously, you think you need to do this and this to get to them, right? But when you in prison or you incarcerated, those same people be the ones doing for you, okay?
Yeah.
First and foremost. Then it took for me to have my oldest daughter and start look at life a little bit different. I'm like, well, hold on. And I'm in prison at this time too. I'm like, well, hold on. Everything that I said that I'm doing for them, they doing for me. All of the people that I'm wilding out with ain't doing a fuck thing. Okay? They ain't nowhere to be seen or this, that, and the third. Now, I did have one part, and I do give credit to that, you know, make sure I was straight the whole while I was in prison. Yes, but that's very rare. But now that is one thing that I can give y'all young cats. I would take my hat off to. Y'all are more loyal.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense, y'all is, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you got a homeboy that's locked up, like, you niggas write letters, send pictures, gonna send it back. But no, I'm just saying, like, from being in prison and looking at the age difference and how the population of inmates done changed and flipped over in there as well as on the street, because I've been on the street now, 11 years?
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? I am aware of the change and the difference. But to get back on that topic, it's like, yes, a dude could have jealousy for you, or a dude could send the robbers to come and get you. You get what I'm saying? When I mean robbing or killing you in the process or whatever, right? Yes, those are the cons to selling drugs. You get what I'm saying? But nowadays, like, I seen a 10-year-old with a gun bigger than him.
What, like an AK or something like that?
Yeah. Walking down the street. 10 years old. He couldn't have been. Honestly, I'd love to say he 10. I don't know his exact age, but I promise you that boy wasn't no more than 13 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? And one of my minds was saying, Sherman, you need to just go take that gun out of his hand and beat his natural ass. That's what someone was telling me, right?
Yeah.
And then my other man say, nah, Sherman, you better let that little crazy motherfucker keep going right where he going. My first mind, because I'm a parent first, like I say, you know, you see me, I got kids of myself, you know what I'm saying? So my first mind is to look at it as a parent, but I know the mentality now. It's best to, you know, let be gone, let lion dogs lay, as the old people say.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy now, like motherfucker just step on your shoes and you finna blow his whole brain off. Motherfucker, you know, disrespected one of your supposedly brothers, and now y'all going to blow his whole brains off. How does that help you or your family? Like, at least when I was doing it, we had a purpose. Like, no matter whether I want to splurge my money, I had a cause, like something that could have benefited me. You know, I did have something, but just to go blow a motherfucker brains off to say, oh boy, I'm live. Oh yeah, boy, I could get down. Like, you understand that's 30 years for the rest of your life?
Yeah. But with that come from, you know, not be able to think before you act. And that come from, no offense, come from like women. Cause, you know, around like majority of guys are raised by women now.
Okay.
So, you know, women are more emotional based and quick to act. And, you know, more guys who want to sit down and think about it before they even act.
Yeah. We logical and they're emotional.
Yeah. So with that, without the father being in the picture, they come more of out of an emotional standpoint.
I'm with you 100% with that. I'm 100% with that.
No,
like
I was saying because you got daughters.
No, I got, that's my son sitting right there too. You're like, what, you know, but I've experienced, well, not really, because even when my daddy went to prison, I still had a stepfather. But that's what made me be the father that I am. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I know my kids don't understand me half of the goddamn time. I know, man, daddy a drill sergeant. But honestly, I don't say too much. Like, if you doing what you're supposed to do, honestly, I don't really give a fuck what my kids do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you get out of line, I get you back in line. You know, like, it ain't no ands, ifs, and buts about it. Like, what I say go, and I ain't finna tell you nothing 3 times.
Yeah.
Like, even my 19-year-old tell you this, boy, hey, I'm not that, because I wasn't raised like that. But it's a good thing you even touched on that, because what I'm realizing now that I'm getting older myself, you have to take into consideration, look at the whole bigger picture, and that's what I'm doing, like analyzing the whole life, my life. And my grandma was a baby to slavery. Okay? So quite naturally, if she's a baby to slavery, remember the mentality of the slave driver, anytime a person do something to get out of line, you discipline them the most excruciating, harsh way ever to get them back in line, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I wouldn't think they were for the individual. I think it was more for the group.
yes, we understand now that yes, quite naturally, yes, it was more for the group. But what I'm saying is living at that time. Look at the concept of you living through that.
Yeah.
So now what you do is you're gonna raise your kids the same way, right? So that went from my grandma to my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went from my mother to me. So by me being consciously aware of it now, I try my best
To try to break that cycle.
to break that cycle a little bit.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because I'm more aware of where it all stemmed from. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But had I not been the age that I am to really see the balance and like, whoa, okay, well, it makes sense. You get me? And being a father myself, being a grandfather myself, like I'm in my grandma's shoes now. So it's like, life is quite naturally is different. That's just like even the way I raise my kids now is not like the same exact way that I raised my oldest daughter because I'm not the same father. Like they don't have the exact same father that my 19-year-old have.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I'm totally different with them. And she was, oh, man, Daddy, you go for that. No, you would have killed me already.
I already know. I'm the oldest. You remember? I
know
can
what
get
I'm
hella
saying?
yeah.
So it's like life was just different.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And by me, dealing with different women and kids and stuff like that, I'm able to literally see how, oh boy, yeah. Like, for an example, I'm gonna use this as an example. I dealt with a woman that as soon as I saw her son, I knew it was gay.
Oh, right. You saw the son?
Huh?
You said what you just said?
I say like I'm gonna use this for an example.
Okay.
I was dealing with a woman that as soon as I saw her son, I knew that he was gonna be gay. Like I knew he was gay already. Like, but she denied it.
Mm-hmm.
Of denial. And I expressed to them at the gate, hey, boy, I got a problem with that. Like, I don't rock like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they denied it. But come up later on, it came out. But I'm going to show you the crazy thing about life, too. And I use this when I talk to people all the time. Never say what you won't never do, because God got a way of everything that you say you won't do, you find yourself doing. God made me love a woman so much that I ain't have a choice but to love a gay son. And I used to be a gay basher. That's how life works. So you really gotta be careful with what you say out your mouth. That tongue,
yeah,
and the creator, like anything that you say that you won't do, just keep living. Oh yeah, I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
Just keep living. Keep living.
So what made you change your mind on that? Because you say the love for her, but how do you end up respecting him because of that? Is it because his personality started showing, or?
I would say it was all really because, like, honestly, if it wasn't because of her, I would never even, he would never even been in my presence.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But by him being a part of her, it's like, I got to deal with the nigga. You know what I'm saying? And it went from, I'm dealing with a nigga and like, okay, well, like, how could you not deal with a person and you basically live in the same house? Yes, I was a trucker at that time, so I basically was on the road only a certain period of time. But however, like no cap, like I don't slept in the bed with the nigga. You get what I'm saying? Like we eat on the same plate of food. Like I say at that time and point in my life, like I loved him just as well as I love any one of my other stepkids that I done had in my life.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But I'm looking at the whole mentality of like at one point, like I literally hated homosexuals.
Yeah.
But that was because of the way I was raised too.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because we grew up to hate them. You see what I'm saying? That's just like with black and white. You grew up to hate blacks and whites grew up to hate blacks and blacks grew up to hate whites.
Yeah.
That was the mentality. So it was like I grew up with the same concept, but in a different form. I grew up to hate homosexuals.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But like I say, I love the nigga just as much as any other motherfucking child that I done dealt with. You know what I'm saying? And did just as much for him as well as I would have did for anyone else. And that's why I say, watch what you say out your mouth, because it's some of the same shit I say out my mouth, I end up having to bite those words.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But I lived long enough.
And, you know, you say you had 4 wives. How many wives you had?
I done had 3 wives, but I done been married 4 times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, okay, let me give you the rundown with that. When I was in prison, right, I met a young lady, and just to make the conversation more easier, by the name of Kay, right? So I met Kay my last 2 years in prison. She rolled with me the whole time I had in prison. I was supposed to marry her. We had plans to get married and everything while I was in prison.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Okay. When I get home from prison, it's just, it wasn't matching.
Yeah.
I'm a very prideful guy and stuff like that, and you know,
I
had to go. Yeah, I had to go. So you know, I went to my mama house, fresh out of prison. I probably stayed there about 2 months, not even.
Yeah.
And I moved out, but my emotions, like physically, I'm gone, but my emotions and my mental was still there. So remember, I'm fresh home from doing 13 years in prison, going through this shit. I ain't understanding this. Remember, I went to prison at 18, so I done dealt with girls. Yeah, I done played around and fucked a little bit, but I ain't never been in no real relationship. So I couldn't tell you how it is. I'm getting out of prison talking about marriage, and I ain't never even been in a real relationship yet. Yeah. So we ain't worked long, right? So I move out. I start playing around with different girls, and after playing around with different girls, I end up meeting my kid's mama, right? So she was doing some things that I ain't never had before. Like fresh out of prison, I ain't never had a woman to
cook for you and stuff.
Yeah. The kids sitting right here, but so mentally, my heart was over here with Kate. But she had my kids. So my loyalty was over here, but my heart was over here. So I went back and forth between those 2 women for 7 years. So basically, like, okay, when me and their mama got together, we got married within like 90 days or so. Like, we got married, like, we had them, like, it was real quick. I can't tell you the exact time, but we got married real quick, right? So we get married. We don't stay together long, maybe about a year, all in all. So we done got married and all in the course of 1 year. You see what I'm saying? So when me and her get into it, never before did I pick up the phone and go over there and fuck this, that, and the third. But soon as me and her got into it, I immediately left and went to King Yale's house. Like the worst mistake that a man could ever make in his life, but yeah, I made that mistake, right? So I immediately left. I go to King Yale's house. So now to T, she looking like y'all done been fucking around the whole time. You get what I'm saying? But really, that wasn't even the case. So when me and T separate, I go over here to K, divorce T, and marry K within a month. You feel me? Like literally, like within a month. Like a month. Like soon as we got divorced, our marriage papers was already in. You see what I'm saying? So we got married. We stayed together. I don't remember how long. You know what I'm saying? But we stayed for a little minute. You know, about 2 years or so. You know what I'm saying? We probably made about 2 years. I give it. You know, somewhere up in there.
Why you jump straight into marriage though? Like,
I always wanted to be married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, that goes back to my upbringing. Let me say this, while we on that topic. When I was 13 years old, my youngest friend was 27.
Oh, damn. You hanging out with adults?
All the guys that I hung with was guys that worked for my father at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? Or like they either worked for my daddy or knew who my daddy was. Because mainly the guys they kind of looked out for me because of who my father was.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, you might be playing in the streets, but me and you wasn't playing on the same level. And the reason being, like my father, he grown. He did grown shit, right? So now when my father goes to prison, all his associates, oh boy, we gonna fuck with Sherman. Sherman got to be good, so they taught me the game. Yeah. To me, I'm learning something. They looking out.
Yeah.
But not really realizing in the end, like they was pimping a nigga too. You get what I'm saying? Because that's how the game go. No matter what form of game, whether you're doing a fraud game, this game, that game, all the games you're going to get pimped when you first get in. That's how you learn.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And once you get your learning curve up, then you go get you a few motherfuckers that you could pimp. Oh. You see what I'm saying? And now, that's just how that life go for real. But I was getting pimped on a higher level. Like I ain't have to stand on no corner and sell dope. Not saying that I ain't never stand on no corner and sell dope, because I love the lifestyle of standing on the corner selling dope, because I ain't never had to sell dope. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Trust me, I ain't never had to sell dope. That was just what I chose. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but growing up like that, that's why, like I say, when I went to jail, that's how I was playing on that level. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because of the guys that I was associated with, and all those guys was married with kids. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm old enough at that time to be one of their damn kids. You get what I'm saying? In a sense. But those were my partners. Like,
were they the same way? Getting divorced, go to the net women? A lot of people.
No, I wouldn't say that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my main mentor at that time, we was playing the game. He had the same wife. All his kids was from one woman. Like I was one person. Like I always wanted all my kids from one woman. I ain't never want my kids spattered around and this, that, and the third. You feel what I'm saying? But life, when I, living in the streets, my baby mama was from the streets.
Yeah.
So now I'm in prison. She living her life. I'm in the chain gang. She go on to live her life. I got 10 years to do. What the fuck she gonna do with me? I'm in the chain gang.
Yeah.
That motherfucker ain't finna ride with you no goddamn 10 years. I don't give a fuck how good your dick is and how much money you got. I get that motherfucker. If she's excellent, I give her 3 years. Mediocre, she out of there in a year. If you got yourself the bottom of the barrel, you already know what it is. 90 days, yeah, it's done. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it go. Like the game don't change. Y'all think that shit that y'all doing right now is new. The shit ain't new. We done did the same thing. Y'all just got a different motherfucking name that y'all want to put on it. But everything up under the sun has been done here before.
Yeah.
Watch history. I don't give a fuck if you go back before slavery. The same shit go on. Read your Bible. If it's been going on since then, it's the same shit going on now.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But life was happening, bro. I'm adjusting to life. Got to take in consideration now. I just came home from doing 13 years in prison. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not making no excuse when I say that, by no means, but by me living through it consciously, I know for a fact I fucked up coming out the motherfucking gate when I went home to K. Yeah. Because coming home from prison, the worst advice a nigga could do is go home, and not saying that she's a bitch, but on just in the midst of conversation. But the worst advice you could ever give a nigga is to come home to a bitch. You feel what I'm saying? You need to find you and get you together and get, you got to adjust and get yourself back in the groove of things. How the fuck you going to get out the chain gang, think you finna come and cake up with this bitch and she going to take care of you and this, that, and the third. And quite naturally, at some point in time, the dick might be good, the head good, and you might even be the top hustler.
Yeah.
But why put yourself in that situation from the get-go? Because now mentally, if you not strong enough, you going right back to prison because you finna do anything and everything you got to do to support this whole habit.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So why even put yourself in that situation? If you like me, I was level enough to know my thing was from 12 to 32, I never knew what it was like to be on the streets a complete year. Never. From 12 to 32, I never was on the streets a complete year, okay? So, I say that to say this. My biggest obstacle mentally when I stepped out of prison was to not go back by any means necessary. I didn't give a fuck what you was talking about. Bitch, I ain't going back to prison.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, boy, I just gotta stay out of here. Boy, I ain't never, like that's like one of my goals. Boy, I gotta stay out of here. Boy, I ain't never stayed out of here. You feel me? And the crazy thing about life, before I realized it, I hadn't been home damn near 4 years. Like I'm still on. Boy, I gotta mentally. I gotta stay out of here. I gotta stay out of here. I gotta stay out of here. But before I sat down, like, hold on, boy, I done been on 4 goddamn years. I'm still on this shit.
Yeah.
So everything else in life, I got a job. I'm doing this. I'm doing the same shit everybody else is doing.
Okay.
But I made it my priority to not do the shit that I used to do to take my ass back to jail.
So you needed a hobby to to really pass your time.
What do you mean?
Because it keep you out of trouble. Because you saying you on that, I can't go back to jail, so.
No, I done broke that habit. I ain't on that no more.
I know you ain't on that no more, but I'm saying like around, you talking about you out for 4 years. What were you doing to, keep you occupied from doing them things, trying to get back on the streets? And do
like for one, like one of the biggest, give you a little bit on that, right? Remember I told you my old boy came home before I came home from prison, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had like 2-3 years left when my old boy came home. I didn't know it, but my old boy had done got back in the streets. You feel me? But my life was really already set up for me. Like I'm in prison still, but my life when I come home was already set up. The only thing I had to do was walk out the doors. You get what I'm saying? I was already set, right?
Yeah.
But 30 days before I get out of prison, my father ended up going back to prison.
For like same thing?
Same thing, right? So that was crushing to me because that my whole plans and everything. Cause my old boy had the landscaping business at that time. He got the pest control company at that time. We still in a position where we suing Warner Brothers, Epic, remember files, music deals and stuff. So I was just basically like, the only thing I got to do is come home and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So when that happened, that kind of fucked me up mentally. So it didn't shake me to the point where I was going to do nothing to go back to jail. So what I did was, as soon as I got out, I got to get home, get adjusted. I stayed, like chill around the house for like a week and just go see people. But that second week I was home, I ain't know nothing about the motherfucking computer. Mm-hmm. But my stepdaughter at that time, she was smart enough to sit right next to me and my old lady at that time and help me because we get that resume together. Oh, okay. Whoop. Set up the email. I'm filling out job applications like my second week home from prison. Yeah. So by that being the case, I wasn't out of prison a month before I had a job. You understand? Yeah. Now, yes, it ain't what I was used to, but I could feel some sense of pride. I get that little check on the weekend. Whoop. I could do my little thing. You know what I'm saying? And bitch, I'm free. Yeah. You feel me? So when I was in there, I wasn't making shit. You get me? I mean, I hustle, but I wasn't like, So
I got making like a couple hundred and stuff like that.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So my first job, my brother helped me get it. When I came home, we was unloading trucks. And we was unloading trucks for Fountain Blue Hotel, one of them 5-star hotels on the beach, right? So they was doing the remodel. So I did that for about 9 months. In April, I ended up working for Atlantic Southern Paving. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I went from doing a mediocre job to a real job. I was getting like $13 an hour fresh out the chain gang. Bitch, I'm on top right now. In my mind, you know what I'm saying? And they taught me. And so I worked for them for 3 years. And then I started my own company doing the exact same thing. That was just how my mind worked. Like, I ain't finna work for nobody. If I do work for you, believe me, I'm trying to learn everything about what the fuck I'm doing with you so I could do it my motherfucking self. Yeah. Because I ain't finna keep punching no goddamn clock to send your goddamn kids to college when mine need to go to college. Yeah. That's just how I look at it.
So your first solo, doing your own thing was trucking.
No, I don't. What I'm at, like 17. I don't. From 2012 to the day, I done owned and operated like 14 different businesses. I was smart enough to know tax time, I opened up a different business. Every tax time.
Mm-hmm. Why?
What you mean?
I'm at like
Okay, like for an example,
to be able to get financing.
No, not at that time. That's how I learned the credit game.
Okay.
What happened was, as soon as I came home from prison, my first business was with their mama. We opened up mobile detailing and pressure cleaning company and a catering company because she cooked and I wash the cars and come pressure clean the house.
Oh, okay.
So that was my first business. She got mad one day and then we separated and she sold all my business equipment. Yeah, women do that spiteful shit, don't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, so she sold all my business equipment on that occasion. I moved on. I think my next venture, I did catering again with Kate. Me and Kate opened up a catering company together. After that, I opened up my paving company. After my paving company, I do multi-level marketing. So I was doing at first when I came, when I was in prison, I was running my multi-level marketing company from prison.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because you remember, everybody else got it. I set the appointments, you just go do the talking, the presentation. When you sign up with me, I get a check. You know about multi-level marketing, right? Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, but most people, they might not don't. But we call it MLM, but it's multi-level marketing.
Okay.
I was in that while I was in prison. You know what I'm saying? So, I did 5 links with that. Then I ended up joining World Ventures, so I did 2 credit company, multi-level marketing companies at that time. Then after my paving company went down in 2016, I got into trucking. Those was my brick and mortar businesses. All the other ones was different MLMs that I have been in and ran since I've been home. I think I got it written down. I think it's like 7 MLMs or 8 MLMs. And then after my trucking company, I got my credit business, Abundant Success Credit Solutions. Since then, I also got my non-for-profit, which is Stand Up Men. And I got my construction company, which is Another Godly Construction. What else? Yeah.
So how were you able to keep up with all these things though? Do you had to let some go or?
I don't let a lot go. Like I don't lost a lot. Like I say, I started my paving company. I ran that until from 14 to 16. I did paving. Mm-hmm. Me and my business partner, which was my father, he's a very shrewd businessman. So when he came home from prison, that's when I was doing paving, right? So when he came home, I was doing paving. I got the experience, you got the money, we start a business. We had some words. Remember, I'm prided too. I'm just like him in a sense, you know what I'm saying? So he told me to give him his shit back. So what you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give you your shit back. You know what I'm saying? But when he asked me for his shit back, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, I got a house, I got 3 trucks, I got a boat. You know what I'm saying? I got rent, like I got bills. So if my business gone and I pack up and not thinking, I just irregularly. But my mind at that time was still on, Sherman, don't go back to prison. Because honestly, I wanted to do something to my old boy because I felt like he disrespected me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you come and script me, but that's a whole nother story. But
you got too many stories.
But yeah, it was like, I had to get out of town before I do something to go back to jail. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So I end up going back and rekindling my relationship with my kid's mama. And that didn't work out. But that's how I got into trucking. So basically, I took the last little bit of money that I had when I got out of my paving company. And my kid's grandfather, he hadn't been a truck driver for over 30 years. So he knew trucking and we had the money. You talking my language because you got to remember when I lost my paving company, my mind never thought about going to get a job. That never crossed my brain. Yeah. My mind is, what the fuck I'm finna do next? And I'm all the way at the bottom. I just hadn't started learning about credit when I started my paving company. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So, and then And we used personal credit when we did the paving company. You see what I'm saying? So my personal credit was fucked up. So now I just got this little bit of money, and I'm like, what the fuck I'm gonna do? So I run across him, and he like, hey, I know we could go get some trucks, whoop, 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 and do the trucking thing.
Yeah.
So niggas say, boy, we can make 10 grand legally a week. Bitch, I'm in. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, 10 grand, I'm in. So I took the 10 grand that we had, and we went and financed 2 trucks, $2,500 a piece. We went and got 2 flatbed trailers, $1,000 a piece. You know what I'm saying? Those what we was putting down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And between insurance was like 4700, like 4,700 or something. It was close to like $5 grand for the trucking insurance. And luckily for me, you know what I'm saying, I got a little swag to me. So what I did was I took a check, because I honestly didn't have the money.
Yeah.
So what I did was I took a check from my paving company business, and I wrote the insurance company a check, but I knew that I had 10 days to pay the money back. Long as the money back in the bank within 10 days, I'm Gucci. You see what I'm saying? But my insurance came active as soon as I gave him the check. Yeah. So, and the tags cost $1,600. You see what I'm saying? And you got the IFTA and all these other little different little fees and stuff when it comes to associating with trucking. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Plus setting up the authority. Now, the nigga who I'm fucking with, which is my kid's granddaddy, he already had authority, but his authority was inactive, so we had to reactivate his authority. You see what I'm saying? And he had a lot of outstanding fees and fines and tickets in different states that before he could get his authority, all that shit had to be squared away. Yeah. But luckily, we came through it, so that's why I had to funk their ass and write them the bad check. But the check, you know, it didn't bounce because the money was in the check. Hey, man, trucking was sweet. You know, we made that off the first load. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So long as the money was good, we was good. But he like young girls, so he fucked up the money. Not we, he fucked up the money. Yeah, because like, you know, he fucked up the money. You see what I'm saying? Well, he wasn't making the payments. You get what I'm saying? And they came and repossessed the truck, and I ain't had them been in trucking nothing about 2-3 months. Cause like I ain't go to school like the traditional person who went to school. No, bitch. As soon as I brought the truck, I jumped in the truck, and with the grace of God, and I knew I could do it. I drove a truck from Missouri to Pennsylvania.
So they ain't ask for nothing. They ain't ask for no license. They ain't ask for no certificate. None of that.
Huh?
They ain't ask for none of that? You just hop in the truck and go?
Yeah.
With the trailer?
Bro, let me
you know how to park that thing and everything.
Listen, I promise you, and I promise you, bro. I ain't never thought about semi-trucking the day before that man started talking to me about trucking. Yeah. I ain't never been in the inside of a truck. But I knew I could drive it. Because bro, I've been driving since I was 5. Like literally, I can get behind. Yeah, I have to sit on your lap. You hit the gas brake, but I could steer from one city of Miami to another because my daddy used to let me sit on his lap all the time. Yeah. And that's how I used to drive, like from one city to another. I do all the steering. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Working for the paving company as well as having my own paving company, I was already used to driving not semi-trucks, but trucks hooked up with a trailer. Yeah. So I hadn't already learned the maneuver of how to back up. I just jumped into a bigger fucking truck. You get what I'm saying? And it wasn't like we didn't go to a car lot to buy our trucks. We didn't go to a lot. He knew a guy that had like 40 trucks.
40 trucks? Yeah,
like he knew a guy that had literally like 40 trucks, bro. And he would lease you a truck for $2,500 down. You see what I'm saying? And I think it was $2,500 down, like $2,500 a month. A month for the truck. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So we went and got 2. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. His tags was on the truck. Initially when we got it, he let us keep his tags on the truck. So that's how as soon as we set up John Authority, we booked the load right then and there. Like we got the truck today, bro. The authority was set up like tomorrow, and we was on the motherfucking road like the same day and booked the load, and we was out of there. I jumped right behind the motherfucking wheel, and I followed him from Missouri to Pennsylvania with a flatbed load, carrying some steel, and I was right on his ass the whole way.
It should have been the other way around.
And I did that for like 4 months, bro. Like, no lie, I drove over the road semi-trucking with no license.
Like, how you know how to drive a stick? That was a stick truck.
But I already knew how to drive a stick. Cause like, it took me a long time to say this. Biologically, I'm American, but every woman in my family is married to a Jamaican. Every woman in my family is married to a Jamaican. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why, like I was saying earlier, how I grew up to hate faggots. It's because of that, my upbringing. But growing up with Jamaicans, bro, like you not Jamaican if you don't know how to drive no stick.
Oh,
you know, like for real, how you a Jamaican? You don't know how to drive a stick. You know. But I already knew how to drive a stick, so that what made it make me feel comfortable because I knew how to drive a stick. But with semi trucking, what I didn't know is, you know, trucking, we float the gears. We don't clutch, and I had to clutch until I got comfortable with floating. You know, I had to gain that, but I just clutch when I know how to clutch and keep going. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I know how to put the bitch in reverse, and with flatbed, you don't do no backing up for real. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Flatbed, you always just pull in and pull out. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't have to do no backing during that time for real with the big truck, I don't believe. But like I still, to say like my memory, if I did back it up, I backed it up better than a motherfucker that's been going to school and training all up, because I ain't never had no accident. Yeah. I ain't never go to school for driving trucks. You know what I'm saying? But while I was trucking is where I studied the CDL test myself with CRIST CDL. It's a practice test. The shit for free. Anybody could go and Google it. You know what I'm saying? And I go on there and they give you all the answers. I studied the test high. I took the test high, I passed the test. When I studied the test high, I took the test sober, I failed 5 times. So I said, fuck it. I had to go in that bitch John Blaze and I aced that bitch. Yeah. You feel me? Like straight up.
Damn.
So in the process of trucking, that's how I get into the credit game. Oh, okay. Because I was learning how to fix my credit.
Oh, okay. So you using that money to fix your credit, basically.
Yeah, when I got into trucking, I took my money that I was personally making, and instead of me paying someone to fix my credit myself, I paid them to teach me how to do it, my motherfuckers. I joined a multi-level marketing company that it was a credit multi-level marketing company. Yeah. And they teach you how to fix credit because that was their product, fixing people credit. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So when I joined as the affiliate, as well as a customer. So I learned how to fix my own credit, fixing my own credit. You see what I'm saying? And then by me trucking, that's what got me interested into the business credit side of things. And I didn't know it consciously at that time, but trucking is the best business to establish business credit. You see what I'm saying? Like it's one of the easiest businesses to start with business credit. So when John lost the first 2 trucks that I had them brought, that's what helped me get back into my second truck. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I went to work for someone else to continue trucking, and I was taking that money, brought into an MLM, learning how to fix my credit, and then I started building my business credit while I was still trucking. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And then once I got it down packed, I started just helping people, and that's how I started my business, my personal as well as business credit business. And I did that while I was still trucking. Oh, okay. That's why when I came to Georgia, like I say, when I lost everything, when COVID hit, my truck went in the shop. Nobody in the United States had the part. How can you fix a truck if you don't have the part? Yeah. So my truck sat in the shop 2.5 months. I lost my wife, the house, and everything. And my plan really was to move into my truck. I wanted to live in my truck for a year and just YouTube and set the whole truck up with all the channels and teach people about trucking, dispatching, because I'm doing it all myself. You know what I'm saying? And that was my plan, but it didn't happen that way. That was my plan. That wasn't God's plan. Yeah. So God had to script me to get my attention, because for all my life, what I'm actually doing now, I knew in the back of my mind that I supposed to been doing. However, I ran from it. So now it's just like I'm on overdrive because I got to make up for all that lost time. But God really had to script me to get my attention. You get what I'm saying? I hate to say it that way, but it's the truth. He had to really script me from all my worldly possessions, every God that I put before him, whether it was the woman, the house, the business, the money, everything. Yeah. He had to script me from that to get my attention. And once he got my attention, he brought me here to Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And Now, they say I got a bed in the back of the church. Like, yeah, but it's a beautiful place. Like, honestly, this is the first time in my life, and honestly, I know what it's like to put my hands on $1 million.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, where I'm at now in life, I never had the peace that I have now. No, I don't have the big cars. I don't have the this, that, and the third. But what I do have is a peace. I have a peace of mind, and I don't have no bills. Like honestly, like no cap, bro. I don't have no bills. I own 2 houses here in Georgia. I live in one, and I rent out the other. My rent house pays all my utility bills in my house, my cell phone bill, wah, wah, wah. So my money is my money. I didn't do none of it. None of this was in my plan. It was no effort put forth from me whatsoever. All of it was blessings from God. All of it. From the time that I left Missouri, all of it, my whole life, everything is like, if anything, if I have to think about it too much, or if it bothers me, it just roll through your hand like putty. Because it don't really, like, nothing really bothers me now. I'm at a point in my life, like, things that used to bother me for real, it doesn't bother me. You feel what I'm saying? All of that, like I said, is because of what the Creator did. Even the 2 houses that I got, all of that was the Creator. You get what I'm saying? My aunt recently just passed away. Actually, yesterday made a year that she passed, and she willed everything over to me. You get what I'm saying? So it's not like I did something spectacular. No, the only thing I did was live life. But I say that to say this, even with everything that I've been through in life. You get what I'm saying? A lot of that was my plan and my doing. You get what I'm saying? And like I was saying when we first started, He's going to give you everything that your heart desires. You get what I'm saying? But just as quick as He gave it to you, He's going to take it away from you, because you worshiping whatever it is that you worshiping more than you worshiping Him. And God is a jealous God.
Oh my God. Well, you do, boy. Dang you, man. You went through a lot. And you say you found peace. You at peace.
Bro, I'm at so peace right now. Like, the house that I live in, I never thought that I would live in a house like this. Like, this just not me. Even when I first got there, I'm in my mind, I'm like, man, what the fuck? Man, I need to do a lot of this shit. But then it's like one day, something just hit me and came over me like, hold on, Sherman. You got a roof over your head. You'd have been living here a year, you ain't never paid a light bill. Like, come out of, like, you from your hard work, sweat, equity. I don't have to sweat up, think about it, bust my brain like, hey man, how I'm gonna pay this light bill? How I'm gonna pay this water bill? How I'm gonna pay this cable bill? I don't punch nobody clock.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Still to this day, I don't punch nobody clock. I ain't punched the clock since 2014.
Been grinding.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I get it from, and like, even with what I'm doing right now in the construction side, my stepfather taught me construction. I ain't did construction in over 20-something years. But it's just like riding a bike. Once you out there in it, it comes right back to you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But it's like when I got here, I didn't even think about doing construction. I was focused, like I say, on credit. And it's just so funny and ironic that, you know, people come, hey man, you know how to do this? And a lot of it came from when I got here, like I say, people see me doing work on my own house and not knowing that it was my house. So now, boy, you do that? Yeah, okay, could you do this for me? And I'm just the type, like, I always, you know, tools. Any man with a truck and tools, you shouldn't have no business with getting $1. Yeah. So as soon as I got here, I had a truck already here. I had a small little barriers of tools. Then I'm blessed to go to the church that I'm at. The church that I'm at, we get a lot of giveaways come in from Walmart. So I started collecting more tools and all type of stuff. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, before you know it, I'm doing work, and now it's like, okay, I do the job for you. You pay me $500. I'm finna take $300 and go buy me a brand new table saw. You pay me $400. I'm finna go take $250 and buy me a paint machine.
Yeah.
Now I got a arsenal of tools. I know how to do it also, no matter what you call me for, whether it's cutting the grass, pressure cleaning, painting, carpentry work, roofing work, I'm able to do it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I have the knowledge, I have the ability, and I love the freedom. The only thing that I don't do, I don't give 2 fucks. Excuse my French when I say it that way, but when the church called me, I come running. I don't give a fuck what I'm doing. If my church call all stops, I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I resume when I come back,
Yeah.
but I got to go deal with this right now because, like I say, for 42 years of my life, it was never like that. But I realized all my blessings come from there. That's how, bruh, a dude at 13 years old put a gun to my head and pulled the trigger and the gun never went off.
Hey, jam? Oh, damn.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I've endured a lot in my 42 years of living. So when you done lived enough, and I done lived very close to this edge, that thin line, so I know, like, and I'm still sane. You understand what I'm saying? Like, It got to be a God. Like, I'm out here in the trenches, 13 years in prison. Who bringing you through and who's carrying you? You think you doing it all? Okay, well, you just keep thinking that way. I'm going to think my way and I ain't going to knock. You know, I ain't finna tell nobody how to think and how not to think. But I'm just saying, me personally, I know where mine come from. From the same God that my grandma and them slaves, because they came with the slave mentality and they started teaching us the religion, yes. But if that's what brought my grandmother through and all the rest of them people that was going through, if that's what brought them through, then God be goddamn, it's going to bring me through too. Yeah. So you can't tell me nothing about it. Yeah, like I say, remember, my daddy Muslim. Mm. I respect Islam. Don't get me twisted. I don't knock it by no means. It's a beautiful thing. But I know what I was taught and what I was taught to believe in when the police came, when I had them robbing people and they came looking for me, and I was praying to God, and he let them people walk right by me. How you gonna tell me that didn't happen? When the guy pulled the gun, how you gonna tell me that? You can't tell me that didn't happen. It happened.
Yeah.
You think I ain't have no control of it?
Man, you were the true testament of just, keep grinding, never give up.
Come on, man. Like, bruh, if I was to tell you how many times I've been homeless in my life, like, I know what it's like to sleep on the bus bench, and I know what it's like to touch $1 million. I know what it's like to fly privately, and I know what it's like to fly publicly. You see what I'm saying? Like, I know what it's like to have as well as not have. And honestly, I feel like even in a sense, God had to strip me from that because I'm very prideful. Like, I ain't gonna tell you no lie. Like, I'm like, for a period of point in my life, I was like Nino Brown for a sense. Like, I'm very cocky. So one day somebody was popping their shit, you know? Mm-hmm. And I threw my drink in the face just like how Nino Brown threw the drink on New Jack City when he threw the drink in and say, bitch, I'll buy me a new one. Yeah, I'm that cocky nigga. But I'm that cocky because I'm self-made. I'm self-reliant. Yes, all my energy and everything, and I give all praise to God because I know he's the one that brought me through all of this. But like I say, bro, it's nothing on planet Earth that I ever said that I wanted to acquire that I didn't. As well as, quick as I acquire, sometime I might lose it. But whether I lose it to a woman, I lose it to some foolish errors here or there, but I know I could get it again. You can't take that from me. Like, so if you have a mindset like that, like, what could, you can't take nothing that I don't know. You could take everything on planet Earth from me right now, and I'ma still be okay. Like I know this. This is a conscious decision. I know this. Mm-hmm. I done did it too many times. When I came home from prison, I ain't have shit. But I moved in with a woman, so I had something. Yeah. I ate. My lights was on. I had clothes, food, TV, woo. This woman done put me out. That woman put you out. My pride won't allow me to go back home because I feel like, what the fuck I'm doing going back home now? Yeah, I go back home and stay with my old girl for a night or two, but to be cocky and honest with you, I look too good to not like be home. Like, for real, it's half of these niggas out here faggots. Yeah. So you got women that's still looking for a real man. I ain't, and he worked. So, like, I could never really, really be homeless because, let's just be honest, dick sells too. But that's what carried me through, though. Like, you get what I'm saying? Even at times. So it's like, how can you consciously really not be there, though? Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? So I still say that, and I say this to say that, like, at that point in time when I was going through all of that, it was all still on me. So I had that scrap on my back. But at this point in this stage in my life, I consciously understand that, no, it really wasn't all of me. Yeah. Like, yes, a lot of it had to do with me, true indeed, but it really wasn't me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And man, tell the people your social media, man, because they can find you. Because that man do everything. You feel me? You need him to take a load. He gonna take a load. You need him to paint your house, cut your grass, put up some walls. He got you. Fix your credit. He got you. So man, tell the people your social media so they can find you.
For whether it's personal credit or business credit help, you can find me at Abundant Success Credit Solution, and I'm on all social media platforms. If you looking for the same thing, because I actually, with my non-for-profit, I actually do the credit work too up under my non-for-profit because, I'm an author as well. I got books. So all of that is up under Stand Up Men, which is my non-for-profit that I have, and I mentor guys that been through some of the same things that we've been through. That's how each one teach one.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the guy before me, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. So if I'm not the person that I am today and I do the same thing that they did for me, how can they be the person that they need to be?
Yeah.
You never know. Like they say, half of the dudes, they ain't never see a real man because they think the real man is a nigga on the corner selling dope with his pants hanging off the ass or popping on lean or whatever other figmentation that they done put on themselves.
Yeah.
But that ain't the real man. And it took me to live life long enough to go through to understand, like even me at myself, I know what levels of my life that I wasn't a real man. So that's how I can honestly say what I'm saying. But you find me up under Stand Up Men. And all of my books, ebooks on any different topic that you need help on, whether it's for affirmations, like I say, daily affirmations, anything on social media, need to know, DIYs, everything is up under my Stand Up Men and my Abundant Success Credit Solutions. Or you could just hit me up in my personal Facebook or whatever, Sherman Owens.
Okay. Man, I appreciate you coming through, man.
Anytime, come on, man. Anytime, man.
We gotta bring you back.
Anytime. And as you see, I came straight off the job, straight from doing work. And I'm like, oh, man, I forgot it is Monday, man. I gotta get over
cool.
Here. you know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, you made it worth it. You feel me? Like, you told your story, bro. Like, you really got interesting story. Like, people can, like, really look up, listen to your story and find like inspiration from it.
I definitely appreciate that, and I definitely appreciate you for giving me the invite to the brand new office since the last time I seen that boy putting on weight, man. He getting fat now, y'all. Oh. You know what they say when they getting fat, man? He eating good.
Nah, I'm just trying to work, man. That's all.
No, man, Mr. Talk a Lot, when that boy hit me up, man, you got to answer, man. Like when Talk a Lot hit you up, and honestly, boy, Talk a Lot go in. I ain't gonna lie, he ain't really go in on me the way I thought he was.
Nah, you stole the show. You feel me?
But Talk a Lot go in. But he's definitely a young brother that I met when I first got here to Georgia, and I took a liking to. And especially to be his age, doing everything that he's doing, the single parent. And when we was first talking, about doing the podcast back then, it was about what we definitely wanted to do something so we could hit the different angles with the different peers today. So it was definitely a pleasure, man. Y'all tap in, man. Y'all got to holler at that boy. You know what I'm saying? You got your apparel yet, man? You got to be dropping your apparel.
I'm trying, bro. I'm trying to work on that. It just time consuming, doing this, editing, and, kids. Yeah.
It can be a lot, especially when you live in life, man. But one thing I'm going to say, keep doing what you're doing, my brother, because if I edify you enough, hopefully one day, I know that you're gonna make it the way you going to. That's not what I'm saying by no means. But I say that because us as black men, we don't edify each other enough. It's so much, oh man, no. Bruh, listen, I salute you, I support you, and when I say I salute you as a young brother, like just straight up, like you ain't never been through some of the obstacles that I've been through in life. You feel what I'm saying? But not saying that you didn't, I still do have some of the same temptations and peer pressures and everything like that. So for you to be a young brother in this day and time going through this and not falling victim on that other side, like that's a big salute, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so easy to get caught up over there. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say, even when you call my phone, like, how could I not come and support you? Like, like that's some crab nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, called me down, like, come, hey, bro, come shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's love to me. You know what I'm saying? Because like, That's publicity, that's love, that's respect. You know what I'm saying? You thought of me. Like when I was in prison, and you call a motherfucker from jail, and the first thing they say, oh boy, I was just thinking of you. Bitch, stop lying. You wasn't thinking of me. Because if you were thinking of me, you would have sent me a kite.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you were thinking of me, you would have sent me a few dollars, let me know, hey boy, I was thinking of you. Hey man, I just seen this card, man. You ain't had to, boy, I was thinking of you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you was thinking of me, why I ain't getting no mail? You wasn't thinking of me. You know what I'm saying? But for you to think enough of me to invite me down here on your spot, bro, like that's love, bro. So how could I not show up and show out? I got to give you what you're looking for.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? So anytime, man, anytime, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that for sure. So, man, hey, man, this is the end of the Talk A Lot podcast, man. I appreciate everyone for watching. You feel me? Please like, comment, and subscribe. And with that, man, we out. Hey, man, thank you for coming.
Once again, my pleasure.